seconds. Are we live?
Oh, it says the stream is live, so I think we're on, Josh.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to know that the scrungy bastards, they took away my little video intro thing, so which is a real shame. Because if I have that, then I know exactly when I'm live, and that kind of thing. But it's really good to have you here, mate. So thank you so much again for joining us.
Josh. Thank you. What a pleasure.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, mate. It's like I said, it's not so often we get a chance to have a chat. So these Splatter Natters are a really good way of getting people that I enjoy talking to, and hopefully that's reciprocal. Likewise,
I love speaking with you, Josh.
Because we did a lot of painting lessons
therapy sessions. We did, yeah.
That's right. Sessions. Yeah, we did, mate. That's right. We did lots of painting sessions, actually.
We did, yeah. It was a breakthrough moment for me, really, because I'd spent so much time when I got back into the hobby and spent lots of time watching YouTube videos and reading my old painting guides, and somehow I could never quite make the connection between what I was looking at and what I was actually doing. So I'd sort of watch it and think I understood it, and then paint my miniature, and it just looked shockingly poor. Or I'd spend hours painting it, and it just wouldn't look like I'd done anything. So I was getting a bit frustrated, really. So it was brilliant when you just immediately made something click with me. And I'm not sure I'm quite ready to win Golden Demon yet, but I really enjoy painting and look at them, and I enjoy looking at the miniatures that I painted as well, and thinking about what I like and what I'd like to do differently. But the process has become so much more enjoyable too. So it's all down to you, Josh. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, mate, that's great. I'm glad that they helped, and in the time that I could do those for people, that they benefited from the lessons. I was just remarking yesterday during my my Gork Talk at Sunday video, when doing a painting. I was doing a painting tutorial on that thing. They're not easy to do. The painting tutorials are not easy. Having everything in focus, everything in shot. All that kind of stuff, and that's different because you're doing it live, so you've got more room to move in, and you can interact and say, "Hey, Josh, I can't see what you're doing," or whatever. You move your hand up, or whatever, or you can ask me and direct me to do things. So, making a video, making a painting video, it's not easy unless you have the right setup. Unless you have like a proper. Some guys have those real professional sort of camera harnesses or whatever.
Yes,
they've got like some kind of hoist or whatever, and they have like the like a DSL camera stuck in, sort of centered on their table, and I always sit back, so you can see my hairy legs in that video, because I always sit back because I'm always trying to pull the miniature back towards my chest. I think that's a natural thing for me to do. So I thought, fuck it, if you're going to see my hairy legs, you're just going to see my hairy legs, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to. I can't do. I'm Australian, so I wear shorts all the time. So it's,
get the pins out. If you've got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
that could be part of your USP, that you're sort of you're the real. They're the real painting tutor, as opposed to these sort of, nicely clean cut guys. You get a bit of edge with Josh.
Start shaving my legs soon. So you start shaving my legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice and streamlined for the swimming. But it looks like you're sort of brilliantly busy, Josh. Things are going very well.
Mate, I am busy because I had a forced break when I went to Australia. My sister kind of kindly didn't want me to paint when I was there, which sort of set me back a couple of weeks. So when I came back, I was like, oh my God, I've got so much shit to paint. I've got so much stuff to do, so much stuff to catch up on, 2 weeks to catch up on. So I've been slowly getting back into that, and then trying to enter this Call of the Crown challenge.
Of course, has that started? Did that start in October?
Yeah, it started October, man. 1st of October.
Okay.
You can still enter if you want to. You just need to send an email and with a photo of your, the miniatures you're going to paint, and send them in.
It looks like a great challenge, and there's lots of brilliant people involved in it. So what are you painting for it? What's your choice?
I did the Black Orc. So yesterday I uploaded a video for the channel, and I just painted. I basically was a bit self-indulgent. I took 2 days off, and I just painted Black Orcs.
That sounds like a dream.
I know it does. It does. I probably should have been working instead, but I enjoy doing those. At least it's done. At least I'm in. I'm in now, so that's it.
That's true.
I'm in the challenge.
How did you get on with them over the 2 days? Did you make progress?
Yeah, I've got them finished.
Well done.
The banner's not the best, but the banner will just have to do for now. And because I noticed that the banner top was different from the one that's in the standard one you get. So like in the catalog, it's like a totally different thing. Yeah.
Right.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that is odd. Maybe you've got some very rare curiosity on your hands.
Maybe. Don't know, mate.
Could be.
No idea.
Well, it's well done for getting off to a strong start. I often think in a painting challenge, your start is so important because if you fall behind early, you're sort of always having to play catch up.
Yes.
And that can make it really tough. I mean, I speak like someone who's done those. I've done 3, and it was always the Old World Army Challenge. But in 2 of those, I got off to a strong start and it went really well. And in the second one, I got off to a terrible start and it collapsed after like month 2. So, yeah, if you can get that strong start, it does make all the difference. But what I'm working on this evening is actually the unfinished miniatures from that second Old World Army Challenge. So I've got those Road Trader Orc Space Raiders, which I sort of started in 2024, February 2024.
Awesome,
but sadly didn't finish. But they've got sort of lots of wonderfully over the top Bad Moon colours. So yeah, I thought tonight would be a great chance to pick them back up and crack on with them a bit. So
good on you, mate. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, let's see if I can make some more progress with them. And what are you painting outside the Black Orcs? Which other projects do you have on the go?
Well, it's mainly commissions. So I've got Phoenix Guard and Empire.
Nice.
Are the 2 main things I'm doing at the moment to try to wrap up those projects, and load of other stuff, mate. Just tons and tons of stuff. So loads of fantasy 40k.
Excellent. What are you working on with the Empire? The Empire.
I'm just finishing off a war wagon and some battle wizards.
Have you painted one of those before?
Never. And they're an app, and like putting the crew inside that little howdah thing that they're sitting in. It's an absolute pain in the ass. Oh.
It's so cramped in there, isn't it? You really squeeze them in.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. So, and the funny thing was that about 3 weeks ago, I had pre-drilled all the holes. I pinned all the feet, stuck them in there. So everything was all done. Everything was fine. Everything fit in there. And then, of course, what I should have done was take a photo, because when I came back from holiday and I was ready to, I had everything painted and I was ready to put them back in, I couldn't find the exact way that they all fit in properly. So I ended up having to take one of the pins out of the feet and then just put them in one pinned foot in the bottom, and then sort of just wiggle them around so they all fit in. They all fit in the end. But yeah, it was.
It's really
something that I need. A lot more pre-planning and all that kind of thing for next time. Just noticed some people coming in the chat. So Dale Yates, how you going, mate? Good to see you. Sci-fi. Good to see you, my friend. And Go For It Painting, thank you very much for joining us. And Brody Chris, thanks again, mate, for coming in. I'm really sorry I haven't covered a lot of the YouTube community photos. We're going to do that probably in a special video. I know that Jonny, who couldn't make it today, from Jonny Watson Painting, he did a nice one that included in his little Mork talks. I might do this. I have to do the same with mine as well. I think that's a really good idea, and highlight some people's painted miniatures and stuff in the community section. Do you have your YouTube community section turned on your channel? George?
I'm so sorry. It's shamefully I've not done it yet. I I just find I go through these sort of bursts with YouTube where I'll make a bunch of videos and sort of have 3 or 4 weeks of a video every week and feeling really on it, and then I just don't do another one for sort of another 3 or 4 weeks, and so I haven't quite got that consistency, which of course is key when you're on YouTube. You've got to be consistent because otherwise you're almost having to start again every time when you take those gaps. So sadly, a community is on the to-do list, but yeah, like we said before, this sort of pesky job keeps getting in the way and
Yes.
ruining my content creating dreams. But it will happen. It will happen. There will be a good community set up soon because I love seeing what people contribute to yours, and it's just a brilliant thing, isn't it, to be able to sort of interact with people in their projects? Because sometimes people will mention it in the comments, and they always say, "Oh, I'd love to hear more about it," but without turning on the community, I'm not actually giving them the chance to do that. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
will one day.
Good on you, mate. That's good. I hope so. Now, talking about your channel, we're just going to share your screen there. I use it as the thumbnail for this
Oh, yeah. Thank you very
live
much.
stream. So Old Hammer and
Thank you,
Tongs,
Josh.
and
Thank you.
I really urge people to go and check it out because George does cover stuff from like really early on during the late 80s, covering stuff from his very early days of collecting miniatures when he was a young lad with his boxes of space orcs that he bought off somebody that are all in bits and pieces with various different attachments and anatomy, like with skeletons and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's some great kit bashing in there.
Yeah. I love the
Yeah.
painting guide video because I have never seen this one. It's the alternate one. You have the blue one. I've got the red one. So that was a really nice one to look through. White Dwarf flip throughs as well. So that's really nice. And you look at alternative stuff as well. So not only Citadel or Marauder miniatures, but other stuff that people are creating out there in the image and style of Old Hammer.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. It's a sort of, I suppose, a kind of hobby sort of video diary. Video diary.
Yeah.
It's just me sort of chatting about the things that I'm rediscovering or discovering for the first time because I was thinking about this recently, but when I first got into the hobby in 1990, and that was Warhammer 40k, and then in what's it 93 second edition came out, and I think around then I discovered I was actually quite nostalgic for Rogue Trader. So I used to go around Games Workshop stores, sort of begging them to find some of the plastic box sets of Imperial Guard, which you could get 36 of the posable ones. And they were sort of laughed at me and told me to go and buy some Catachan Jungle Fighters, which I had done already. But I sort of pined for that aesthetic, and it's only now that I'm finding that the internet. I'm a major luddite, so I'm normally slagging off the internet, but it has given us the ability to sort of find and research all of these things. So I'm loving delving into Rogue Trader for my 40k itch, and also really getting back into the fantasy side of things. I always used to have little sort of side projects of fantasy when I was a kid, but now I've really discovered pre-slaughter miniatures for those early first and second edition Warhammer situations, and they are absolutely fantastic. They're just packed full of character. I hadn't realised that Brian Ansell was a miniature sculptor, to my shame, and it's been a little side project recently that I've been collecting up some of the early Citadel stuff that he sculpted, and it's just so full of every one. You can just read these brilliant stories in the miniature. I really love it. So yeah, I'm getting more and more old and more Old Hammer, I think. So my channel kind of follows my progress / decline in this general direction, and it's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
As we discussed before, it's a really positive place, which I was quite pleasantly surprised by actually. But people just really want to have positive
Yeah.
hobby chat, which is so nice. So yeah, I've really really loved it. And thank you for all of your support and encouragement, Josh.
No, mate.
It's been
It's
really really
more
key
than
to the whole thing.
thank me. It's been great. Yeah, I really enjoyed that you're doing it and that you've started it. And but that's not all you do. You also write and read children's stories. Is that right, George? Is your other passion and
Yeah,
hobby?
yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So that was something that I'd started doing probably about 7 years ago. And then good old lockdown came along, and it was something I was able to focus on more. So I wrote a series of children's fantasy stories, sort of almost fairy tales, really. But I'd created these two characters, Hobgob, who's a goblin, and Mulch, who's a tree. But it's a magical realm where trees can walk and talk. So a sort of Ent. And Hobgob and Mulch are best friends, and they sort of go on these adventures together. Um, and they do all sorts. They fight dragons and they rescue bards who have writer's block, and necromancers who command their armies the nothing, um, and all sorts. So I really really enjoyed creating that, and I think there's about 30 stories that I've written and narrated as a podcast, and I'm now also writing a book. Which I have actually spent some time doing recently, which has been absolutely fantastic because I
Oh,
haven't had time to write for a very long time. But somehow I managed to chisel out enough to do some more planning for it. So it's really exciting. I just need to find the time now to actually write the thing.
yeah,
Once you've
that's
done the
great.
planning, that is such a big part. Everyone writes differently, but for me, I like to have kind of a structure in place, and then I sort of fill in the words to make it work. So the structure is kind of the hard part. The filling in the words bit I find quite easy. So um, yeah, it's really, really exciting. I've loved it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, good,
It
man.
it really is a special thing to be able to do. So, yeah, I'm loving getting the pen out again, and I'm loving
Awesome.
doing a bit of painting now, Josh. I haven't done any painting since July, I think, when I finished the Old World Army Challenge. This is really
Wow,
lovely.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
Jeez, mate, that's
really,
a long
really
time.
good. I know you've
I'm
prompted
glad.
me
That's good.
to get going again. It tends to be a little bit boom and bust, sort of in between the challenges. But that's why I like the challenges, because they do make me paint, whereas
Yeah,
otherwise life can just too easily get in the way. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
that is
yeah,
true, mate. That is true.
yeah. I was tempted by the Call of the Crown, but it just I don't really have any fantasy projects that quite fitted for me this time. But maybe next year, because I love watching them all come together last year. I thought they're brilliant.
Yeah, you did pick up some dwarves or something, didn't you? Recently, fantasy dwarves, is it fantasy
Very
dwarves or something?
Very well remembered. Yes, I did. So that's part of my new love of pre-slaughter that I ended up collecting quite a few additional pre-slaughter dwarves. So I got like the original Bugmans. Um, I had this. I'm not sure which edition it would have been, but basically the second run of Bugmans I got when I was a kid. But I love those pre-slaughter ones as well. And I've got to say, hats off to current day Games Workshop, because a friend and I went to Warhammer World last year, and I bought Bugman's cart while I was there,
Mm,
the reissued one. Um,
yeah,
and it's great. I'm so pleased they reissued that, because it doesn't really fit any of the kind of new aesthetics of Warhammer. It's, for a start, it's really small,
yeah.
and it's essentially a cart with a little sign on it and a barrel, and then this sort of very 80s looking dwarf. So that was part of what inspired me to go and pick up those early Bugmans as well, so that they could go alongside them. Um, and I got the box set, the Dwarf King's Court. I bought that from the brilliant Demon's Lair website, um, and got the original box and everything. That was really exciting. So it comes with a bear and a jester and the king and his guard and the queen and all sorts. So yeah, there's definitely a bit of a dwarf thing going on.
Nice, that's good,
You,
man.
you've dabbled with some dwarves in your time, haven't you, Josh, and some
I
space
I
dwarves as well?
have not space dwarves, mate. Just only fantasy dwarves. I
Ah, okay. You've yet to do squats. Just
yes, I've yet to do squats. Yeah.
Okay. What
I did
what
see a
vibe
lot
did you go for your fantasy
for
dwarves?
pretty much just out of it's the same, and I've got to go back and redo a lot of those units because I painted that. Actually, if you go back through all my videos, I think about 6 years ago, there's a video
Oh,
I've got on my channel that shows the dwarf army when I painted it then,
okay.
and I did it in sort of like not in the Herohammer style with all the goblin green bases. I did mine in a. I was really influenced by another guy who's like a French Canadian guy. And
Okay.
when I was just getting back into all of this, I was looking for images of dwarves and stuff like that, how people are painting them. And I found this guy's website. You definitely know him. He's like massively known in the old hammer communities.
Hmm.
And he's got a very distinctive style. Everything's very grey. And he's got a very French style of painting. Like I like all the Rackham style non-metallic metals. So he does all that with the
Mm,
non-metallic metals, and he
very
does all the
cool.
basing with like little rocks and stuff like that on it. So I try to emulate his style. So that's what the army looked originally as. Everything was undercoated black, nothing was undercoated white.
Right.
So very in stark contrast to what it looks like today. So um, since I made the change and everything went back into goblin green bases, I had to change everything over. Um,
Mm,
so so it went through this gradual process of refining things, touching things up, and now I've got some nice shields, so I can replace all those other shields that I either made myself or found from people or whatever. So to replace all of those, I've got some extra parts coming from my flame cannon that I never had because it was always
nice.
incomplete, and I'm very close to finishing it because I've only got about 4 Thunderers and 4 Crossbowmen to finish those 2 units of 20. And I've got to finish off my miner unit. And there's not that much more left to do to complete that army. So it's just mainly now just touching up, tidying up, repainting shields, and just touching up the miniatures basically. And I'll be
Nice.
really happy. Yeah, but yeah, that's going to be that's a yeah. To be honest, I think Matthias, who's just joined us too, as well in the chat, that even though I love the dwarf miniatures, I love all those Marauder miniatures. Uh, the play style of dwarves sometimes can be a little bit boring. You know what I mean? Without magic and everything, I'm sort of losing something from it.
Yeah,
Um,
quite slow.
yeah, quite slow,
Um,
and yeah, I think they're just. But I do love them. I love them with the orc and goblins together. I think there's something about that is so. Well, it's inherently Tolkien, but in the early,
exactly. Yeah.
you know, White Dwarves and stuff, you always saw the orc and goblins and the dwarves fighting it out, or the Empire, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. They're quintessential, aren't they? Um,
They are. They
and
are. Yeah.
it's interesting you say that about the gameplay with them because there's a really lovely guy on the bedroom battlefield Discord. I think he's called Luke, and he's been spending years painting up this huge dwarf army. And he finally played a battle with it for the first time a week or two ago, and he was like, "Wow, I did not enjoy that at all. They're so slow." So he's painted this
Yeah.
massive army. Now he thinks he's going to have to paint another one, completely different, so that he can actually enjoy playing with them. Um, but yeah, I think they're quite well suited to sort of siege games and things like that, aren't they? But not necessarily anything that requires speed or magic. that's when they that's when they struggle.
Well, if because with the Empire army, I'll take lots of dwarves as my like kind of auxiliary troops
It's
in
a good
there,
idea. Yeah, ally.
and then you take your like your grey wizard, your grey battle wizard, and
Mhm.
and give them movement spells. If they have movement spells, you can move them around. So that's one way of getting around it. So dwarves become a totally different thing, totally different dynamic when you take them into an Empire army.
That's a really good idea. Um, because they do have wizards, don't they? But Didn't they? Wasn't there a rule change at some point that said they just couldn't use any magic? Am I making that up? It didn't one of the editions suddenly remove any magic from it, or was it just always been really rubbish?
No, it's when they went to fourth edition, they took magic out. They basically replaced it with
There we go.
runic magic,
Okay.
essentially. So like runes of protection against magic, or enhancing them to give them magic items and stuff like that. And the
Right.
runesmiths were then the new wizards, in a sense,
Hmm.
that can use the anvil to in fourth and fifth edition anyway. They would cast spells of electricity stored up in the anvil,
Okay. Right.
which is always a precarious thing, because if you had total power in there, and I've done this before. I think one of the videos I think I played with Justin against his wood elves, that the thing would blow up because if you just need to roll that double one and it's gone. So
Yeah.
naturally, I rolled the double one and it was kaboom time.
Wouldn't
And
have
the
it any
anvil,
other way.
but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
And
yeah.
going back to your talks, how do you feel sort of going back and repainting or touching up stuff that you've done in the past? Because some people do it constantly, and some people absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I love doing it. I sort of did that to my orc and goblins over time as well, and I'm going to do it with my high elves, just touch them up little bits and pieces, because I know there's certain aspects to it where I've clearly just rushed to get something out in time to play a game or something like that. So there are
Yeah.
little facets to them that I think we could need a little bit of fine. It's just basically fine tuning. So it's like you're taking your car in
Mm,
for a service. It's like taking your
mm,
army in for a service. You're
mm,
going through and checking all the little. Maybe there's some chips or here and there, or maybe that I find lots of gemstones unpainted on high elves, for example. No
mm.
one would ever
Yeah.
notice it. It's just that I look at the minutes and I think, oh, hang on, I forgot to do the gemstones on this one, or I forgot to do certain, painted something on them. I forgot to do something. Even the dragon princes have some gemstones unpainted. I found those in a photograph after taking that.
Mm,
There's some banners to be replaced on those, because some of the banners, it's sort of just, um, past their use by date. They're just about falling off. Um, and for the orc and goblins, the night goblins, I redid a lot of those, and they're pretty much to the point where I'm really happy with those. I don't need to do anything with them anymore. And then I
brilliant.
started doing the orcs, and I did the rock lobber just recently. The giant I repainted recently, and one of the chariots, the goblin chariots, I redid, and the one of the boar boys, one of the nightmare miniature boar boys, I redid him as well. And I like it because it sort of revitalizes models that
Mm,
you almost got like a new miniature, and I kind of like that. Or you got a sense that you got a new army, and I find that's nice for me anyway.
yeah.
Other people may really hate that and think, no, you should never repaint or go over miniatures or whatever. So
Yeah. Well, it's another one of those lovely things about the hobby, isn't it? That everyone's different. Um, I've got one friend who seems to spend most of his life sort of stripping and repainting the same sort of two or three miniatures that he's like always striving for total perfection with them, and he's never quite satisfied. So he just starts all over again. So he's sort of completely stuck on these. But then I know
right,
others who they just want them finished, and so they'll just finish them and then move on to the next thing. Um,
yep, that's the
and
most
yeah,
wisest thing to do.
probably
But
yes.
yeah, I would never strip stuff. I never strip stuff. I just paint straight over the top of the old paint job. There's
Yeah,
really no
yeah,
really
that's
no
what we've
need to
got.
do that. I don't think.
No. Yeah, I think he's just a tortured soul, really. So,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
yeah.
Sure does sound like it.
And he's perfectionist.
He needs
Yeah.
help, mate. You need a
Yeah.
clinic for this guy.
I think the hobby is his clinic. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm, I've got so many miniatures still to paint. I'm not quite in a position yet to go back, but I did feel these orcs, they deserved it. Because I love these old orc raiders. I think they're really, really fun. Um, really fun. They've got this sort of nussy officer guy and there's these little troopers.
Yeah.
So it just felt like I hadn't quite done them justice by leaving them half finished. And so it's very nice to be working them again now.
Yeah, that's good, mate. I'm glad you can start painting, because it was July, wasn't it? The last time you actually got to paint something.
Yeah, it was just the finishing
So
touches to the challenge. So yeah, and now it's bloody mid-October, so I'm very glad to have my paints out again. It's a complete mystery where 2025 has buggered off to, but it's, it's gone very fast.
yeah, it has gone very fast, mate.
Yeah, absolutely shocking.
That is true.
But yeah, to be here now. Yeah. And how was so you had zero hobby time while you were in Australia?
I did some gaming, of course. I played some games.
Oh, good. Excellent. What did you
I
play?
I played 40k second edition mainly.
Sick.
So if you're unfamiliar with it, there is what's called Sustained Fire, and Sustained Fire is an organized event. It's not a tournament. It's just basically a bunch of guys getting together, and they arrange the venue, they arrange the tables, they arrange the terrain, or people bring their own terrain, and then they seed people off. So if you wanted to play somebody on the day, you just say, yeah, I really want to play this guy on the day, and they say, okay, no problem, and they just match you up with that person. And
Nice.
if you don't have an opponent, they'll just find someone for you on the day. So we had, I think it was 36 people turn up.
Brilliant.
And so we had, like I showed us some videos. So if you go back on my channel, mate, I've got a couple of videos there now. One is like the event and the armies, and one is me and Marcus playing a game of 40k, an Orc Civil War, because it was my Orc army against his Orc army. So you'd enjoy that, being an
I'd love that, yes, please.
Orc maniac.
Yeah.
So
and Marcus also has some brilliantly painted miniatures, doesn't he? Is it snake bites? Is he got snake bites with his?
He only had one snake bite. He only had one snake bite. Like the Warlord was a snake bite on the cyborg.
Ah, okay.
And that was it. So all the rest of the stuff was like a mix of, I think, Evil Sons and Death Skulls.
Nice.
And yeah, there's a smattering of everything. Like, like the Dreadnought one was painted in Goth colors, one was painted in Bad Moon colors. Really nice paint jobs. Had like a looted Imperial Basilisk in Death Skull.
Amazing.
Glyphs and everything. That was really nice. And he made his own little Gobsmasher too. Gobsmasher tank.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Gosh,
so
yeah,
it's really nice to see.
He's a talented guy, so that must have been a brilliant looking table with both of you having your arms
Yeah.
against each other.
And he basically took all these old MDF buildings that he had lying around for many years, and he converted them and painted them into orc buildings. So each of the clans was represented by a building with its own specific paint job on it. That's really nice to see, because a lot of freehand was done on the sides. Like the Snakebite building had like a big snake motif image on the side of it that he hand painted on.
Awesome.
So when you've got time, go and check those out, mate, and enjoy that, because it's more a visual spectacle than an actual battle report or anything like that. It's more
without too many spoilers, what was the outcome of the battle?
Oh, mate, I got absolutely smashed. I mean, you're talking to me here. There's
fly all the way from Japan.
And the second game I played was with Carnifex, Ben, and he absolutely smashed me too with his with the army I painted for him. Actually, it was
that is
Nurgle army.
That's outrageous.
That's okay. I took a real because what their their motto is, to come with an army that's really soft and, like fluffy and nothing too serious. Like don't try to min-max things. Don't try to be a dick about things. Just come with a really sensible, fluffy white dwarf type army list. So that's what I did.
A good story. Well done.
And I sort of took the piss out of Marcus. I said, you do realize you should have brought, did you realize you should have brought like more of a fluffy list along today, like not such a hardcore list. And I don't know how he took it, like whether he thought I was serious or not. I think it was quite funny, but his list seemed pretty good. Like it's pretty, and Marcus, that's the thing. Marcus has played this game in and out for decades. Like he knows 40k in and out, upside down. He knows all the armies. He's got, and if you ever see his collection, it's incredible. Like the Eldar he's painted is just amazing. So he lives and breathes this stuff. I don't. Yeah. I don't necessarily live and breathe 40k. I've never have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always been a fantasy guy at heart. So an epic space marine guy. So I'm still after 30 plus years, I'm still learning the game, and it really felt like I got schooled on those 2 games. But I had really good fun and really good guys to play with, and we all laughed the whole way from start to finish. And
good.
And so that was really good. But ablative armor, that's what I should take next time. Ablative armor, because every time I shot his vehicles, I thought, good, I got him. I got him. And he goes, I got ablative armor. So okay. That's the end of that then. So
oh my God, I don't remember abrasive armor from my second edition days, but maybe that's why I always lost as well.
I think there's some stuff I don't have. So there's stuff that from White Dwarf magazine that came out that I don't have. I don't have certain cards or whatever.
Okay.
And you need that battle Bible. The battle Bible, that's what Marcus was using too, and that's just like a compilation of everything ever made for second edition, put into like a PDF that you can download and use. And that's a great resource for second edition players. But overall, the event is a fantastic day. Like, I highly recommend it to anybody to go and check it. Even really just go and check it out. Just walk around and have a look. Yeah.
And so how does it work as well as the games? Are there other things going on? There's sort of painting competitions or anything?
No, there's nothing like that, mate, to be honest. There's just like a little, they got like a stage there at the back where we were, and they had like trades stalls so people could bring stuff to sell on the day.
What sort of things were they selling? Was it sort of second hand, or was it
to be honest, I didn't even look at it. I didn't even have time to look at it. So
very restrained of you.
Yeah, I don't really need anything. You know what I mean? Like I don't really need any more stuff. But people just bring things along. Like I know my mate Chris bought some stuff off Marcus. He bought some vehicles, like some rhinos and a predator. And
nice.
I know Ben was selling stuff. He was selling stuff of his that he'd made, and Marcus was selling other stuff that he'd wanted to sell. I mean, these guys have got way too much stuff anyway, so it's good to circulate those around with other people, I think, and make some money. But obviously it's all 40k centric, so all the models for sale are basically just secondhand 40k stuff you can go and buy. But it was a great opportunity to go and see a lot of people I haven't seen for a very long time.
That sounds great.
So it was really, really good. Yeah.
Because you and Marcus go way back, don't you?
Yeah, we went to the UK together in '95.
That's amazing.
So he'd already been to the UK before that. And even in one of the, those Chaos Roadshow photographs in White Dwarf, the old White Dwarfs. Remember those?
Fondly.
He's in one of those. He's one of the staff members with Chris Bone in one of those photos there.
That is brilliant.
So he used to work at the stores and stuff.
Excellent.
And, so this is his second tour, and this is my first tour. And eventually got a job. These, like I was saying to George, these are the same This is the same uniform I wore, the jumper, the shirt, the polo shirt, same stuff 30 years ago, still going strong.
Still fits.
Still fits, yeah. Haven't got that fat, thank goodness. Yeah. I'm on a diet, actually. I'm on a diet. I've stopped drinking the Nihon Shoe and replaced it with whiskey. So I'm on a whiskey diet now.
Well, you're looking great. So. Is it Japanese whiskey that you're drinking?
Yeah, I'm drinking the cheap but smooth Japanese whiskey.
Because the Japanese distilleries are highly regarded these days. So
they make good stuff, mate. They make great stuff. Yeah.
Hoover it up.
Yeah, exactly.
But Marcus is Wereweevil Miniatures, isn't he? That's his company.
That's right. Yeah, Wereweevil Miniatures. Yeah.
He's got some fantastic models. I painted some of them for my Space Dwarf project a few years ago, and they are really, really good. Really good. The detail is brilliant. They fit together really well, which isn't always the case. They're incredibly high quality. It's very, very good.
Oh, good, mate. Yeah, I didn't have much time. I was going to see him a second time when I was there, but it just didn't work out. He just lived too far away, and it was just going to be just too much on the day to get there and back. So I decided not to do it, unfortunately.
Australia's a big country.
Yeah, because he lives about two. It would have been a really busy day. Like the traffic was horrendous, and it was a public holiday. So I reckon it would have been 2.5 hours to get there and 2.5 hours to get back. So that's 5 hours. Then we're going to play a game, and then we're talking and everything like that. So I just thought, I just can't see myself doing that.
No.
Can't see myself doing it. I'll have to plan it out next time better so that I can stay there a couple of days or something like that and just do a 3-day game fest or something like that.
That's a good idea.
So yeah. But yeah, got to meet up with some good people. Got to meet up with Todd. I haven't seen Todd in 30 odd years, so it was really good to see him and play a game of 4th edition. Yeah, we played a game of 4th edition on the same table that we used back in those days. He still has it because basically his father-in-law worked in. He was like a builder or something like that, or whatever. So they always had these big offcuts of timber or something, like MDF boards or whatever. So basically, he just got him to make a big, I think it was a 10 by 8 foot table, and it's got these massive hinges in the center of it, which is quite funny. So they never sort of sunk them down. It sort of just sits on top of the thing. But we played on that. Yeah, we played on that thing that day and played, I think, 2,500 points, Orc and Goblins versus Wood Elves. It was really fun. It was really, really good.
How did that one pan out?
I think we called it a draw at the end because I think
there you go.
It was we didn't bother tallying up the points or anything like that. It's not like we've got to work out exactly how many points you killed and how many points I killed, and got to some people are really, and I can understand that they're really finicky about the numbers thing. It's all about numbers and working out exactly. I think it would have been a draw because I killed his general and his unit of Wood Elf archers he was with, and he managed to scare off my big unit of goblin spearmen off the table. What else? My generals lived. My Skarsnik Gobbler guy, he still lived, but it was to the point where, because we only played 4 turns because we rolled for that at the beginning of the game. So I think at the end of that 4th turn, it was clear that I dominated one side of the table and taken that quarter and killed his general, but he had killed some of my stuff as well. I think it would have probably evened out. Out.
Nice.
And Yeah, happy call it a draw. Yeah, shake the man's hand and
And
call it a draw.
sounds like an excellent day. That sounds like great fun.
Yeah, it was good, mate. It was really good. Yeah,
Is that your
I'll play.
favourite edition? Fourth edition.
Yes, it's my favourite edition. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It must have been a joy then to play with an old friend. Your favourite edition. That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, it was really, really good. I really that was kind of one of the highlights of my trip, actually, going to see Todd and his wife, because Todd uniquely plays with his wife. Him and his wife been playing. So
That is fantastic.
so when I met Todd in about, I think it was about 93, 92, 93, around there. Yeah, he and his wife would set up the games table, and they play 40k in fantasy, and they still do to this day. They still play 40k in fantasy. He'll send me photos of them playing
Amazing.
together. It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, maybe that's the
That's
secret
really
to
nice.
marital success is
They're exactly
both of
right.
you to have
Yeah. And let your wife win every time.
Yes, that's extremely wise.
Yeah, exactly.
You did an interview on a podcast a few years ago now, I think, with Gobbo Girl, and I
Yeah.
think she mentioned in that she got into the hobby through her partner, um, and I suppose the only chastening thing for him must be the fact that she's now just sort of like intergalactically brilliant, and he must be like, God damn it. But yeah, that must be really really fun to be able to sort of play and paint together and things.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, he's a really good painter too. Lorna's husband's a really good painter. His dwarves that he
Oh,
painted
really?
on Facebook, Instagram, yeah, they're amazing. Yeah,
Right.
he's
Wow. What a power couple.
yeah. I think that's yeah. I think he sort of showed her all the secrets and stuff like that for painting, and now Lorna's
Oh, interesting.
a fantastic painter too. I've been trying to get them back on. We discussed that, getting Lorna and her husband back on to do like um, a trio episode at some point. So
That
we'll
would
have
be
to
amazing.
get in contact with her about that. We should have
Yeah.
done it for October. That'd have been really good, actually.
Of course, it is
I'll have
October,
to
isn't it?
message
God,
her.
that nearly
Yeah, mate,
passed
this
me
is
by.
it.
We're in
You've
it.
been too far out of the loop. You need to do an October video this month,
You're right.
George, on
Okay.
your channel.
I've got a couple of weeks, so I'll do something.
It'd be nice just to sit there and watch you painting those Orc Raiders. That'd be good.
You're quite right. I should do that. I really enjoyed the last time I did a sort of painting video of me painting. I found it so nerve-wracking because I did sort of imagine the world sitting there in judgment. But I actually really enjoyed it. It was great. And I've always found it sort of quite relaxing watching other people paint. So I hoped it would be kind of relaxing to watch. So that's a really good idea. I should do that with these fellas as well. Um, and yeah, let the world join me as I try to finally finish them off.
Yeah, good on you, mate. That'd be nice. I think that's a great idea. It's a good idea for you because it gives you that. And I think my, thank Gork it's Friday videos, it sort of pushes me, propels me to do something and make sure it's finished by that time so I can release the video. And maybe you should do some kind of other system like that where it's thank George. Thank George it's Friday.
That's really good, Josh. Thank you very much.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, do that.
I'll take that one. Yeah, I always love your Thank Gork It's Friday videos, particularly when you crack that beer and you always think, oh,
yeah.
God, that looks absolutely fantastic. Although, will you be having a whiskey these days? That's you're gonna have to change it up.
I had one yesterday. I finished the bottle, so I need to go and buy another bottle today. It's those, there's hard tasks in life. If you're given, mate, you've got to go out and buy a bottle of whiskey. It's not easy.
But someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. And what whiskey to buy? I mean, that's the next big deliberation. It could take time.
Yeah, we did a Highlands we didn't do a Highland distillery tour, but we went to the Highlands a few years ago. And while we were there, did a number of distillery tours, and it is the world of whiskey is just so complex. I've barely scratched the surface, but it's a wonderful drink once you get into it, isn't it? At first, I thought it was just totally disgusting, but then you have this kind of breakthrough moment, and once you've gone through that ceiling, you're like, oh my god, it's delicious. Um, but yeah, I do find it does have a unique sort of aftertaste the morning after when you've had a few whiskeys. It's like, oh, wow, you can really feel it.
Yeah, it very much depends on what you drink. I think that determines whether you're going to become a whiskey lover or a whiskey hater. So yeah, when I first came to Japan, I bought this whiskey called Suntory Red, and if you want to
Mm.
die young, then drink Suntory Red. You can buy it in these big plastic bottles as well. It's like
Oh,
the
God.
most dirt cheap whiskey that's just got petroleum and an essence of whiskey maybe flavored in it or something. It's just shocking. So
Oh,
yeah,
no,
if
no.
that's your first experience of whiskey and you're puking it up in the toilet, then yeah, you'll probably never drink whiskey forever, ever in your life. But
And that would put you off,
uh,
wouldn't it?
yeah, as long as you drink the good stuff, it's like wine. It's like anything. If you drink the good stuff, you would really enjoy it and savor the
Yeah.
taste and all that kind of thing. Even
Yes.
same with the Japanese sakes. You can get some really good ones, and I've had ones that honestly smelt like pig swell. I mean, it's just the most vilest shit I've ever had, and I just turfed it down the sink. So it's all very dependent on what you get. Obviously, the more money you spend, the better the quality. So
Yes,
uh,
yes, that is true. Um, yeah, I had a breakthrough moment with whiskey. I think I turned 30, and someone had given me a nice bottle of Lafroig or something, and I thought, God, what am I going to do with this? But I thought, hold on. I'm 30. I need to become a man. So I need to learn to like whiskey. So actually, I poured myself an incredibly hot bath and then sat in it and drank this whiskey and listened to some quite intense Beethoven piano music. And by the end, I was in. That was it. I was a whiskey lover at that moment. And I never looked back. So it did work, but it took that kind of shock therapy to really get me into it. Um,
it sounds like a good marketing tool for them as well, Lafrog. Your image, sitting in the bath with intense Beethoven music, sipping on a glass of that, mate. That's
yeah, I'm not
that's
sure
going
if
to
I was at
sell.
my not at my male model best at that stage of life, but who knows? But speaking of Japanese culture, Josh, we've currently got the sumo wrestling here in London.
Oh,
Um,
really?
I don't know if
Okay.
don't know if that's made any waves back in Japan, but the it's at the Royal Albert Hall, my former place of work, and it's actually a project that I'd been working on when I was there, but it's taken such a long time to happen. It's only taking place now. Um, but it's been amazing. We've been watching it on TV, and it's absolutely
Right.
fantastic. It's really enjoyable.
Oh,
They
good,
brought like
mate.
120 wrestlers over, and they're doing like a full-blown 5-day tournament, which actually just finished today. Um,
Are they
so
Japanese though? Because usually the sumo wrestlers here in Japan are all like Mongolians, or they're not actually Japanese.
yeah, there's definitely quite a few Mongolians. Ukrainian wrestler. I'm
Yeah,
just going to
yeah,
plug in
Ukrainians.
quickly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, it seems to be quite international, which I hadn't
Right.
expected. Um, but yeah, it's really enjoyable, and the referees are all fantastic as well, with their sort of brilliant outfits, and they sort of dance around, and but also all of the sort of spiritual aspects to it have made a real impression here. Um,
Mm.
with all of the sort of blessing of the sort of fighting ring and everything, it's been really incredible.
Oh, nice.
And there's also been some brilliant pictures of sumo wrestlers being sort of tourists in London. So there's pictures of them with like cuddly Paddington bears and riding on little hire bikes and drinking pints of Guinness and stuff.
No, good on
It
him.
has
I'm
been
having a good
it
time
has
then.
been absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed it.
it's a hard road, mate. If you want to become a sumo wrestler, I've watched documentaries on that and
Oh,
what those
really?
boys
What do they
put
have to
themselves
do?
through. Well, they basically have to, um, at a young age, if they are, also they have to pay, or their parents pay for them to stay at some kind of dojo. So it's some house where they have, obviously their trainer, and they get fed so many meals a day. They've got to eat a lot of rice and all this other kind of stuff to keep the bulk and weight on. Lots of carbs and stuff they've got to eat. And then they've got to train like just hardcore, like all day.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
they go to bed early, get up early, and they do the whole thing again and again and again, the whole routine over and over and over again. So it's kind of like being in the army, that kind of thing. It's very
Wow.
regimented, very disciplined, and yeah, and if they're lucky, they make it through and they become a success. If they're unlucky, then they don't make it. So um,
God.
yeah, I watched a really nice movie too when the final trip coming back to Japan from Australia. I watched a really nice movie. It was based somewhere. It was just a movie on some small town in Japan somewhere where they had like
Mhm.
this local sumo wrestling championship, and the young boys would come to compete in this yearly thing they had. It was really nice, heartfelt kind of movie
Mm.
about that.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
Gosh.
I've never seen it. It costs an absolute fortune if you want to go and see it live in Tokyo. It
Oh,
costs a huge
really?
amount of money. Yeah, so
Right.
I've been to the actual stadium
Mm.
many years ago. I've been outside the actual, because I stayed in a hotel out very close to where that huge stadium is. So I've walked in around there, and it's nice to see some of the sumo wrestlers walking around, because they wear
Mm.
their kimonos and they just walk around the station or just walking around the place. It's
That's
really nice to
awesome.
see them. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're big. They're big boys. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You can't miss them.
They certainly
Yeah.
are. What's life like for a successful sumo wrestler? Like, do they become sort of celebrities, or is it a sort of more secretive life that they lead, or is it all just different?
Oh, I presume they become celebrities and they work in television, or they work in
Mm.
broadcasting or whatever. I assume, or they just take on a completely um, different career later on.
Yeah.
But they're always surrounded by beautiful women. There's loads of gorgeous young girls who want to meet them and all that kind of stuff. So it
Wow.
seems like they're in for a good life, that's for sure.
Gosh. Okay.
You want to take up
Well,
sumo wrestling, do you, George?
well, I better start tucking into a few more carbs, and then let's see. Let's see.
A few more fish and chips,
I-
mate.
Yeah, well, we were looking, and I mean, some of them weigh like 3 times as much as me, so I've got to. I'd be very happy to try getting that much weight, but um, it might just all end disastrously.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, I must admit, until I actually watched this tournament, I'd completely underestimated how much sort of how technical it was, and I thought they basically just sort of launched themselves into each other, and then the, whoever pushed the other one out won. But there's actually so much more to it, and so many different sort of tactics they can use, and different ones have different strategies and styles and all sorts. Um, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
You see, but it's a shame to hear it's so ridiculously expensive. Actually, in Japan, that's a pity. 'Cause,
Yeah, I've never seen it on TV, only in highlights. So it must be like a cable thing where you only see it on cable TV.
mm,
Um, yeah, I'm sure my son will be interested at one stage in seeing it. We may go down and see it one day. But I know the guys like that I know in my sort of gaming group, they were all talking about going there at some stage to watch it live and that kind of thing in Tokyo. But yeah, I'd
okay,
imagine the tickets would be, depending where you sit, it would not be cheap to go there.
no,
But hey,
no. Well, the tickets for this London one were absolute premium, um,
yeah,
but equally. it is very expensive flying loads of sumo wrestlers over from Japan. So
Yeah, mate,
yeah,
exactly.
they need a lot of leg room.
They need a lot of food too, so I'm going to pay all that food they've got to eat.
Exactly. The catering. Yeah, God. Huge quantities of protein and carbs and who
Yeah.
knows what. Yeah. Well, are there other elements to your new diet, Josh, or is it mainly whiskey based?
Just whiskey based, I think, mate, really.
Excellent. That's the sort of diet I like.
Well, that stuff I usually drink. It's really high in calories, and I just drink it like water, and it's probably not such a good idea. So
That's so
I
funny. So you don't imagine sake being calorie heavy. It always feels
well,
quite
it's
light
all
when
full
you.
of sugar, isn't it? It's all full of sugar, isn't it?
Oh,
All this
is it?
stuff's full of sugar. Well, most alcohol's is full of sugar. So,
True.
but it's full of rice because it's made from rice. So all that it's just all carbs and sugar that you're just pouring down. And that's why I got such a big gut because I used to make I obviously make videos and I do podcasts and stuff like that, and all I can see is this big white tundra of bloated stomach. And I thought, and my wife even remarked about it when I came back from Australia, and I thought, yeah, I better do something about that. That doesn't look really good. I don't want to. So, the whiskey diet was the only solution, really.
I think that's an excellent solution. Well done.
I'll give you some
Great,
reports.
great
Hopefully,
diet.
you can see some physical change in the next coming weeks and see how it
Well,
goes.
I mean, I think you always look great, but you do what you got to do, and I'm sure you'll continue to look wonderful.
I hope so, mate. I hope so.
Yeah. And how's your painting going on over there?
I haven't done much, to be honest, mate. I've been enjoying watching you paint. That's the most
Oh,
important thing.
oh, thank
I've
you.
got a whole day of painting coming up, so it's not like I'm going to be missing out on anything. So
Okay, fair
it's
enough.
more important that you get some painting, mate.
Well, thank you.
I will
I'm
go
thoroughly
through some
enjoying.
comments here while you're painting. I did have a funny one there from Sci-Fi before. Here we go. For months, I thought George was just a pair of sentient hands on YouTube. Nice to have a face to go with the voice. I think that's quite funny.
Yeah, I do have a face. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for watching.
So we've got Mateus here as well. How you going, Mateus? He's actually started on YouTube too. Would you
Ah,
believe?
excellent.
So that was nice to see. Creating
That's
some nice
great.
fourth edition stuff. That's great. So Emperor Jim's here. Good to see you here, mate. Thank you for joining us. I know it was very short notice. It was literally like 10 minutes before we went live. I posted this one. So I didn't expect most people to come and say hello today. But thanks for those who are. Brody Chris, Whiskey Diet Genius. I know, mate. It's going to get me there. It's going to lose me the weight. I'll tell you what. What are you painting, Josh? I'm painting some Black Orcs, mate, for the Call of the Crown challenge. I've got 5 done. They need some more boys to swell up the ranks. And are you painting to George? Maybe what are you painting, George? Maybe.
Yes, I'm working on these Space Orc Raiders from Rogue Trader. There we go. So that's the officer fellow. I've forgotten his name. It's sort of Umric or something. And then, oops, a bunch of these troopers. So I started these in 2024, didn't finish them, and this has been a great opportunity to get them out again for the first time in MCH. So they're sort of bad moons. Started with the darker colours and building up. So thank you for asking.
Nice, mate. Okay. Sci-Fi says, how does cereal taste of whiskey instead of milk then, Josh? Well, I wouldn't know, mate. I'm not that bad. Trust me. Last week I picked up enough slow berries to make 20 litres of slow gin. Okay, well, you enjoy that, mate. And don't get too sick
Delicious.
on it. What is slow?
So it's like a berry, and you can ferment it. and then it sort of produces gin, and it's really nice. It's lovely. It has that sort of berry twist. It's not a very good way of
Right.
putting it, but a slight sweetness to it. It's really yummy.
What is it, like a
Smooching is
dark
my
berry?
treat.
Is it like a red berry, dark berry, or
I think it's red, um, and so
okay,
the gin looks kind of red, I think. But
right?
correct me in the comments if that's horribly wrong.
Could be
But
like
yeah,
could
it's
be
really
like that
nice.
Suntory red whiskey I was talking about. Maybe that's where they get it from. The
Oh yeah.
slow berries. I hope that diet involved proper whiskey and none of that whiskey rubbish. Well, I don't know. It's Japanese whiskey, mate. So I can't say anything bad about the Japanese whiskey distilleries here. That's for sure. They might sponsor the
Yeah.
channel. Who knows?
Well, they
We'll have
might,
to
and
find
it's
out.
award-winning stuff, Japanese whiskey. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's
Oh, you can get some really good stuff here. I think it's Yamazaki, the name of
mm,
the whiskey that costs like $150 a bottle in Australia. And it's like $60 here. Australian
interesting.
price. If I lived in Australia, mate, I couldn't drink it all. I couldn't afford it. It's so expensive there. It's just nuts. The amount of tax they put on it. It's crazy.
Or even Australian beer, is that expensive?
Yeah, everything's expensive, mate. Everything's expensive. Like I was like thinking about getting a curry. It cost me like $40 to
Oh
get a
my
curry and a
God.
naan bread. I thought, no
Wow.
thanks. I'll just
Yeah,
I'll just make a big pot of pasta and eat that over 4 or 5 days.
that's the spirit. Much better.
Okay,
Much
so here
better
we go.
value.
AdMac says that Japanese whiskey is whiskey like Scotland and Canada. Whiskey is made in Ireland and the USA. Well, what's wrong with the Scottish whiskey then? I like
Uh,
Canadian Club. I like Canadian Club. Whiskey's made in
yeah.
Ireland and the USA. Okay. I
So
don't like Jack Daniels and all that kind of stuff. I tried Lafroig and I didn't like it. So I must be a Canadian Scottish whiskey lover, mate. I like it light, and yeah, I like it light. I don't like it heavy. I don't like heavy tasting whiskey, if that makes sense. Dark and heavy, I don't like it so much. I like the lighter
you,
stuff.
you don't like it PC when it's really smoky.
I don't like
Feels
the
like you
smoky
just like,
stuff. Oh, yeah, a mate of mine thought he did me a favor by buying me a bottle of Frog for my wedding. It was bloody awful stuff, mate. Yeah, I really struggled to get through it.
I like the fact you did get through it, despite the fact you didn't like it. You still drank it.
Yeah, I did.
You weren't
Like
going to
true
be pissed
champions,
off.
mate. We weren't gonna we weren't gonna. Anyhow, my friend, look, we've gone to the hour mark. I didn't want to keep you up all night,
Thank you,
George,
Josh.
talking about
Thank you
whiskey.
so much.
So,
Yeah, it's what a
um,
joy though. I've loved talking whiskey and painting with you. It's been brilliant. Thank
yeah,
you so
well,
much. You put
we'll
a
definitely have
smile
to
on
do
my
it
face.
again for sure. And
I'd love that.
even
Yes,
if it's not on a
please.
live stream, we can just have a chat at some other point offline, mate. So, but look, all the best to yourself and the family. Hope you have a great week coming up.
Thank you. Thank
And
you. And huge love to you and yours. And huge thanks to everyone for watching tonight. It's been really lovely to have everyone here with us.
absolutely, no, it's been nice to have a few people here to say hello as we had a chat today, and hopefully got some painting done. All right, mate. So, George, look, I look forward to the next video you're going to do. Hopefully, something
Thanks,
for
Josh.
October.
October special. It's in the pipeline now.
And for everybody who's listening, please go and have a look at Old Hammer and Tongs, the YouTube channel.
Thank
And
you very
please go and
much.
check that out and give George a like, sub, and comment. Okay, mate. Well, look, take care of yourself, George. Appreciate you coming
Thank
on
you,
today.
Josh. Yeah,
And
I've loved it. Thank you so much.
okay, my friend, we'll speak again soon. Take care.
Excellent. Speak to you soon, buddy. Bye bye.